Hello everyone. I hope that you have seen all the videos of chapter number 5, separation of substances. So in this session we are going to learn or revise all the things that we have learned through that videos. Okay. Now from the PPT you can get the notes, correct? So let's start. So first of all, in introduction part we have learned about the separation, means how we are using that separation in our daily life. So here I have written, in everyday life there are many situations in which people want to separate the parts of a mixture, correct? We have learned many examples. For example, water that contains algae or fish, or dissolved chemical from factories which is not healthy for drinking purpose. So here we have to remove the things and then we are using the separation methods, correct? So thus it is preferred to remove it from the water to make it suitable for drinking. Okay, so separation means what? Separating mixture is a scientific process. Okay, scientific means what? We are using different kinds of processes that related to the science, correct, in which two or more substances are separated which were once together, correct? Understood about the separation? Yes. So why the separation is useful, that we have learned. Okay, so separation is important, okay, and useful to remove undesirable components, means if you don't want something, that you can remove through the separation methods. Then to obtain useful components, for example petrol, diesel are obtained from crude oil. Okay, so here we are removing the useful components, okay, separating useful components. And the third one, that is to obtain pure substance from mixture. Okay, for example distilled water can be obtained from any water sample by simple distillation. Okay, so the distillation part is different part. Okay, in our lesson there is no distillation, okay, because for distillation we required a particular apparatus, okay, a particular instrument. Okay, so that we will learn in further classes. Then we have learned some methods of separation, correct? First we have learned about hand picking, okay, which is a traditional method. So hand picking means what? Which is the simplest method of separation of substances. This method is used only when unwanted material is in small quantity. Okay, I have drawn one table, that is hand picking and some other traditional methods, correct? So in hand picking, if when you can use that hand picking when the unwanted material is in small amount, and the shape, size, color of the unwanted material, it should be different from that of useful material. Understood? So this hand picking method we are using to separate out pebbles, broken grains and insects, okay, from the pulses, okay, cereals and all, by hand picking. Okay, so whatever the notes are there you can take from this PPT. Okay, you can take a screenshot and you can write the note in your notebook. You can see the hand picking method where we are removing the unwanted material from this. Understood? Yes. Then we have learned about threshing, correct? So threshing means what? The process in which we are separating grains from the stalks. So what we are doing in this process? Here we are beating the stalks to free the grain seeds. Okay, in case if the large quantities are there, then we are using threshing machine which is known as thresher. Okay, so this is threshing where that ladies are beating that stalks to separate out the grains from that stalks. So you can see here the separated grains. Understood? Threshing. Yes. Then third one in traditional method, that is winnowing, where we are separating heavier component from the lighter component, okay, by wind or by blowing air, which is commonly used method. Okay, this is a commonly used method to separate lighter husks from the heavy seeds of grain. So you can see here the winnowing method where we are using air to blow that lighter part, and then the useful components we are collecting at one area. Understood, winnowing? And the last one, in traditional method we have learned about sieving, where we are using sieve. Okay, so the fine particles of the sieve, okay, you can see here the fine particles pass through the holes of sieve while bigger particles of impurities remain on sieve. Okay, the sieve can be available in small pores or in bigger pores, so that is depend on which things you want to separate. Okay, so it is used at home to separate impurities and bran present in flour. In flour mills, this process is used to remove the pieces of stones, stalk, husk from wheat and other grains. So in this process, difference in size of particles is important. Okay, so that principle we are using here in sieving. Okay, as we knowing, we are using about lighter and heavier part. So in sieving, we are understanding, or we are separating the substances that are different in size. Understood? And last point we have learned in sieving, that is at construction sites we are using the sieve, okay, to separate out the pebbles and stones from sand. So like this is small pore sieve, and here are bigger pores are there. Understood? Then we have learned the separation of solid liquid mixture. Whatever we have learned, okay, that is sieving, winnowing, threshing and hand picking, there is a separation of solid and solid. Now we are going to discuss about the separation of solid and liquid. So first we have learned sedimentation. Okay, we have performed one video, correct, of sedimentation. So what is the sedimentation? When a heavier component in a mixture settles after water is added to it, the process is called sedimentation. Understood? We have seen that how the soil is settled down at the bottom, and that deposit substance is known as sediment. Correct? Understood the sedimentation? So you can see here, first we have mixed the soil and the water, then we just allow that substance to settle down. So you can see here impurities, which is known as sediment, and then here is a clear water. Then we have learned about decantation, where we are removing the upper part of liquid, okay, and the sediment is left behind. The process is called decantation. Okay, so sedimentation, after sedimentation we are performing decantation. So sediment is here and the clear water we are removing like this, so this is called decantation. Understood? Then we have learned about filtration. So in filtration we are removing lighter solid and liquid. Okay, here we are using a filter paper and funnel, okay, to separate out the substances. So you can see here the filtration process, where we are separating the insoluble solids like mud from a liquid using a fine pores of the filter paper. Understood the filtration? So you can take the help of these notes and you can write in your notebook. Then we have learned about evaporation. Okay, so evaporation means what? The conversion of water into water vapor is known as evaporation. Okay, so that also we have performed salt and water. Okay, I have mixed that solution, and then there is a heating process. So salt at the bottom and water is evaporated, so it is called evaporation. Then we have learned about condensation, okay, so which is the opposite of evaporation. In evaporation, water is converted into water vapor, and in condensation we are cooling the water vapor to convert into water. Okay, so if the water vapors are converted into water, the process is called condensation, which is opposite of evaporation. Okay, like this we have done. Okay, then in last session we have learned about solute, solvent and solution. So solute means what? The substance which is dissolved in a solvent which is known as solute. Okay, like sugar, salt. Okay, these are the examples of solute. and the solvent means what, in which the solute is dissolving, then that is known as solvent, in which we have learned about water, which is known as universal solvent. And when we are adding both solute and solvent, we get solution. Okay, see, solvent, solute, solution. Okay, then we have learned about unsaturated and saturated. So that experiment also we have performed. So unsaturated means what, a solution that is capable of dissolving more of solute, and opposite to that, if the solution is not capable of dissolving any more of solute, which is known as saturated. Understood? So here we have completed our theory part of separation of substances. So I hope that you have understand all the things that we have learned in videos and in this PPT. Okay, I am giving this PPT for you to take the notes from this PPT. Understood? Yes. Still, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.